Welcome to the instructional part of the video. You can get tabs and backing tracks if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Today, I'm playing with my Guild D140 Dreadnought acoustic guitar, mic'd up with a Rode NT5 small diaphragm condenser. That's what you're hearing. Now let's look at this combination of an arrangement, and also there's a little bit of Dave Rawlings transcription in there. Obviously, we have a capo at the 2nd fret, and we got an F to a C to a G. So my F, I like to do the old school Neil Young, Bob Dylan, not bar chord F, and that's the way Dave does it too. You can see instead of a bar, you have starting on the A string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret. There's a little hammer on inside there, which is, one of the reasons this F is advantageous. You can't do it if you're doing this. You can do that. There's a little walk in there, starting on that 1st fret of the B. 1, 2, 0, 3, C chord. I'm not going to worry about spelling that out. It's a C chord. You may or may not want to do a little. Now, a lot of times we learn G this way. This G is a little more useful for embellishment. Same G, but just instead of fingers 1, 2, and 3, you're doing fingers 2, 3, and 4. Because then Dave's going to do a... Let's look at that. So he hits that, and then 3rd fret of the B, 3, 1, change to the G, slide into that 4, O. I guess that's G7 kind of run, or Mixolydian run. 0 on the G, 3, 2, O. And then, that's the little opening, I hop right into the melody. Pretty. So we have a little, you can hit this 3rd fret on, this is just, if that's F, here's an F again. I don't remember if in the opening demonstration I played this 3rd fret note, but there's F, 5th fret, that's C. Up top there's Gillian's vocal melody, that A on the 5th fret. Hybrid picking. That 5 comes off to a 3. That's a Rawlings thing. That's like a jazzy articulation in this. Slide up to that. I'm counting up from our capo 2. I'm going to call that 8. Which is, you'll hear him do that. He does it again in the solo. 8. Just walk it down to 5. And then... So that's on the G. Out of that G shape there, that's just 4 on the G string, 3 on that B. A minor, and then it's walking down past the G chord, but I'm walking kind of up the inside there, so that's on my A string, 0 to 2. So that whole melody. And then we're kind of back to the main kind of cadence of this song, this F, C, G. Then he just does that same run again. I feel like that's not where the tuning I want. Where's my capo? By the way, capos will often pull the low E string sharp a little bit, so you always kind of got to sweeten it a little bit. And there's that run from the beginning. Then just does that cadence again. And then there's a different run he does. And that one's going up. It's kind of like the Scruggs run though. So it's going 3 on the low E. 0, 1, 2, 0. So that's the first half. Boom, 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 boom. this little, which is, yeah, again, playing around with G7, which makes sense because if this song is in C, relative to capo, that G would be a dominant seventh chord, so you're allowed to put that in there. Second half, open G, back it up a step to that third fret, that F note of the D string, jump to the open B, 2, O, so you got. That's his other little walk he does. And then it just comes around to another verse. The melody's a little different because it's. So to get my F in there, that's an F, that's an F. Here's another F. So I'm just grabbing, relative to capo, 7, 5, 8, and that means I can use my open E string. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna, what's it? Drive to Atlanta. Yep. Open, 3, 1, and then the rest is basically the same as the first verse. Now, we have the cool little in-between verse break, which is really just A minor, D7. I like to put that low F sharp in. That's what it is, which is a Dorian changeover. It's actually not dissimilar from Santana's it's a slowed down version of Oye Como Va. So Dave drops in already with his trademark dissonances. So if we're calling this 5th fret, this is an A minor structure. That's 7, 5, 0. Let those notes bump into each other. That's his opening melody. So jazzy, really. 5, 5, 5, 8. I think and there's that little, he hangs on that, and then very quietly pulls off 7 and 5. And that's just 7, 5, 7, 5, so that melody. And that's A minor, and he's like, oh, I'm on a D7. He sees that. So that little part, landing on a 4, 5 on that B, 0, 3. That's his weird little Dave Rawlings jump. 0, 0, 5. I think I land on that 5 because then you see him grab that portion of a D7. This is starting on my D string, 4, 5, 3, which is really just outside of that shape, which is really just C7, move it up a step, you got a really awesome D7 or D9 chord, so that part. And I might strum that a little bit or arpeggiate it. And then this little triplet run off of the A minor as it cycles back to this. So when Dave sees this, he goes, That's similar to what he does in Scarlet Town, way up high. 2 on the G, open B, 5, 3. Oh, look at that. Again, using those open strings as melodic devices. That's the first part. Yeah, so 4, 5, 5, letting those ring, and then a 5 up top, and he's going to blues it down. And so that second half, if you're on that 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, oh. So to Dave Rawlings, that's an A minor lick. And then the chord switches back to D7, so he's like, that's a D7 lick to him. So that's off of that, just that part of the D chord. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, walk that down, walk it down. Again, using those open strings. O, G string, 2, 1, and then a little triplet run. Again, off of a D structure. So starting on this 2 here, 2, O, 4, O, 4, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 3, down, down. Chromatic to land on an F. Let's look at that. So the first half, that's also kind of a Richard Thompson thing. Or, yeah, similar to that too. That was that Led Zeppelin song. And then walk it down. O, 3, 2, O, 3, 2, 1. To land on the F. C with a G in the bass, and then G. Yeah. Here you had it. I often talk about Dave Rawlings. I've studied him quite a bit, and I think this song supports my observation or belief that he's kind of the Miles Davis of bluegrass guitar. Here's what I mean. If Miles Davis took bebop jazz and kind of, he could play the crap out of bebop, but then with Kind of Blue, whenever that, I think that record came out, was it in the 50s even? Whatever it was, he took it and like opened it way up and just let things breathe and kind of be way more floaty and ethereal. And I feel like that's what Dave does with like folk music, because his solo on this is super jazzy, with kind of the chromaticisms and the dissonances. And so I think that's the thing about him. He doesn't feel the need to always stay so tight. He has these folk songs, which are kind of how they write, these great folk style songs, but then he comes in with this like just a cloud of notes. Anyway, have fun working on that one. Thanks for watching.